Financial fraud has a devastating effect on the victims. It has shattered families and relationships, and worst of all, in extreme cases, it leads to the suicide death of others. Welcome to today's episode of Fraud Files. We'll be talking about the case of a movie producer who received an over 21-year prison term for participation in a film financing scheme. We will also talk about the case of a woman from Las Cruces who was given a 4-year prison term for wire fraud and filing fake tax returns. Make sure to watch the entire video to learn all the details of this tale. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon to receive notifications of our upcoming videos. Let's get started. In Florida's city of Miami, a 44-year-old former actor and film producer from Bartlettsville, Oklahoma, was sentenced to 262 months or almost 22 years in prison by a federal district judge in South Florida for his involvement in a financing scam that duped investors of more than $60 million. Jason Van Emmen, the defendant, was also mandated to provide almost $9 million in reparation payments to specific victims. Following a federal jury's conviction of Van Emmen for conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering in May, the sentence was handed down. The evidence indicates that Van Emmen presented himself as a financier and producer of movies, offering to sponsor independent films, Broadway performances, music festivals, and other ventures. Van Emmen assured the victims, producers, and others looking for funding that his accomplice, Benjamin McConnelly, a fellow conspirator, would double any funds the victims gave to their endeavors. The initiatives were thus more appealing to investors thanks to the combined starting money, so McConnelly would apply for and obtain financing from financial institutions. Victims deposited more than $60 million to accounts that belonged to the fraudsters on the basis of these lies. Van Emmen never made good on his promise to the victims that his partner would match their financial support or apply for finance. Instead, Van Emmen and his accomplices transferred the victims' money to their own personal and business bank accounts, frequently within days of deposit, in order to steal it. Van Emmen and McConnelly hired Benjamin Raphael, a bank employee whose job it was to reassure victims that their monetary contributions had been matched and that their money was secure, neither of which were true. In order to make the fraud seem more credible, Van Emmen, McConnelly, and Raphael bought luxury cars, personal watercraft, real estate, jewelry, home furnishings, designer clothing, hotel stays, and both private and commercial flights with the stolen money. Some of the stolen money was utilized by Van Emmen to pay for films in which he had acting roles. The sentence imposed by U.S. District Judge Rag Singhal was announced by Juan Antonio Gonzalez, U.S. State Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, and John J. Bernardo, Acting Special Agent in Charge, Federal Bureau of Investigation. The Miami field office of the FBI looked into this matter. Christopher Brown and Giselle Valdez, both assistant U.S. attorneys, led the prosecution. Emily Stone, an assistant U.S. attorney, is in charge of asset forfeiture. On another crime story, a woman from Las Cruces, New Mexico, has been given a 4-year prison term for wire fraud and filing fake tax returns. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, Sandra Roberto was given a sentence of 4 years and 3 months in prison for wire fraud and filing false and fraudulent tax returns, according to Alexander M. Ubales, United States Attorney for the District of New Mexico. On January 29, 2021, Roberto, 44, of Las Cruces, New Mexico, entered a guilty plea. Roberto started working for Mesilla Valley Transportation in 2009, initially as a gasoline clerk and then in the accounting department, according to the plea bargain and other court documents. Roberto took advantage of her position to steal almost $1,130,215 from MVT between 2011 and 2018. Roberto served as MVT's main point of contact for the third-party payment processors Comdata and EFS. Roberto would load cash advances onto the debit cards that MVT drivers used, then get authorization codes from Comdata or EFS to withdraw further money from the cards. The money would then be deposited into Roberto's own bank account by using blank checks she acquired from Comdata or EFS, after which she would enter the authorization numbers. Roberto deposited 1,735 such checks between 2011 and 2018. Roberto spent the cash on personal expenses like rent, the purchase of a car, a trip, a hotel stay, and other things. In January 2018, MVT found Roberto's theft during its annual financial reconciliation. Roberto was fired from her job when she confessed to the theft when questioned. Roberto acknowledged in her plea deal that she intentionally failed to disclose any of the money that was wrongfully embezzled to the Internal Revenue Service as income. For example, in 2017, Roberto embezzled $260,705 from MVT, but only reported $31,932 in income. Roberto owes an additional $250,473 in taxes from 2013 to 2018. Roberto will have 3 years of supervised release after she is out from jail. Roberto has additionally agreed to pay $1,130,215 in restitution to MVT and $250,473 in restitution to the IRS for a total principal payment of $1,380,688. This matter was looked into by the IRS Criminal Investigation and the FBI Albuquerque Field Office's Las Cruces resident agency. Rye Ellison and Richard Williams, both assistant U.S. attorneys, handled the prosecution of the case. And here we come to the end of today's episode of Fraud Files regarding a movie producer who received an over 21-year prison term for participation in a film financing scheme, and a woman from Las Cruces who was given a 4-year prison term for wire fraud and filing fake tax returns. Please subscribe to our channel and push on that like button. Stay tuned to our channel for amazing videos like this one by clicking the bell icon. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below about this event. We'll see you in another Fraud Files soon.